You're watching the David Benjamin High Tech Direct TV Sports Zone.
And joining me now is a former Cookeville High standout, not in football so much, but in golf. He is a CHS graduate. He's also a professional golfer, and it's Barrett Steakley, our very own from Cookeville. Barrett, how's it going, man?
Good. It's going real good.
How's the life of a professional golfer?
Very strenuous, actually. It's not as easy as most people think. So.
Oh, you mean you just don't get to go out and play golf all the time and just hang out and win all this money and, you know, live the glamour life?
I wish it was that easy, but man, golf is actually so strenuous. People just don't understand all the stuff that actually goes into the sport, behind the expense and things like that. People just really don't understand what goes into it.
Yeah. Now, you know, you've had a successful high school career, and as an amateur, you won a lot of tournaments and stuff like that. What made you, decide to turn pro?
Well, from Tennessee Tech, when I played at Tech my 4 or 5 years, I was pretty successful there, and just thought it was something always a dream that I had was to go on and play professionally. So I gave it a shot. Went and passed all my tests to be a club professional, and then just kind of just picked up from there and just kind of hopped into the competitive field of playing professionally. So
yeah. Now, people think professional golf, they think PGA Tour, they think, oh, you're out there, playing with Tiger Woods and this and that, but it's not like that. I mean, there's tons of tournaments around the state and around the area, but it's nothing as glamorous, obviously, as the PGA Tour.
Oh, no. It's kind of like a lot of people refer to it as baseball, minor leagues, and then you get on up into the big show. And that's kind of the way we got to start. You got to start at the bottom somewhere, kind of get your feet wet, and go from there. It's all the mini tours, and then it's kind of just one stage to the next. You start on the Hooters Tour and work your way up, go to the Nationwide, and then on to the PGA, where hopefully you can play with Tiger. That's kind of the dream, is to get up there and play with those guys. But there's still great money on the smaller tours.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to get in there and get wet with it.
And, one of the reasons why we've got you on this week is because you are our champion of the week. You were a 3-time winner of the White Plains Open as an amateur. You come back, you win it a couple of weeks ago. You're the first professional, I think, in 17, 18 years to win the White Plains Open, which is open to professionals and amateurs. And there's been some pretty good pros that have played in it in the past. But you were able to beat Tim Richardson in a playoff, win your 4th White Plains Open, but the first ever as a pro. That's going to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah. To grow up out there, we've lived out there for 20 years. So, I feel like I know the course inside and out. So to win as a first professional, hey, like I said, a win's a win, I'll take it.
And that wasn't even your first win as a professional.
No, I actually won earlier in the year at a course in Nashville, Old Natchez, with I took 4 of the high school, it's called the Pro Junior, I took 4 of the high school players down. They went through a little qualifying, they played, and the 4 that made it got to go with me to the tournament, and we went down and competed, and I actually won the tournament there, which was my first professional win in the 2 years that I've been playing. So that was an exciting time for me.
Excellent. Well, 2 wins already as a pro, and look here what you get. You get the cool Sport Zone Champion of the Week t-shirt sponsored by Sports One, and I know this has got to rank right up there with 2 wins as a professional.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Thanks for being with us. Welcome back to Sports Zone, where it's time to talk a little nasty car. So we brought in Mr. Nasty, Mike Honcho, and let's see, NASCAR is in Atlanta, and you're going to Atlanta for what this week?
The Kiss concert!
Yeah.
I should have wore a Kiss shirt, but I do have a guitar on there.
Well, there you go. It's
but I have purple, though, because the Tech cheerleaders are on. Can we talk about them instead of NASCAR?
Sure.
That was a lot of fun. Those girls are crazy.
So you're going to Atlanta for a Kiss concert. You're going to stay for the race?
That's up to the wife.
Yeah.
Which probably means no.
Probably not.
But I would like to, because, it's a fast track. I've been there twice. Except for getting in and getting out of the track, it's fun to be there.
Really?
But the traffic is horrendous if you ever go. So make plans on staying overnight and everything, because it's tough.
Now, where were we at last week?
Well, we were at Bristol 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, we didn't have a cup race, but we did have a truck race and a nationwide race. The nationwide race went to Canada at the road course up there. And road courses, I mean, I kind of like them only because that's what I do in the go-karts. But let me tell you, though, you wouldn't have been doing that yesterday.
Really?
The end of the race, the last probably 10 laps was pretty cool, although they did have a red flag and you probably could have taken a nap in that 20-minute period. But it was pretty neat. Robbie Gordon, he was trying to stay out and win, and he was going to run out of gas because all the extra laps. And then they restarted, and he went too far. They went in the grass. Then boom, this guy hit that guy, and this guy hit that guy. It was a pretty neat, fun ending. And then it actually came down to a bumper after the last turn. Boris Said was leading. He got passed on the last turn. He floored it and won by that much. And Boris Said, after all these years being the road course ringer,
yes,
he finally got himself a NASCAR win. So.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. I mean, if there's one thing about Boris Said, it's the road course.
He's the one that they go to, all these drivers, and take lessons from on road courses. So he's given away all of his secrets all these years, and now he has finally won, and he actually won it. He didn't fall into it or anything. He had to race.
So we're getting ready for the chase.
2 races left.
2 races left. We're going to Atlanta. Obviously, Kevin Harvick is the man.
Yep.
Who is going to make a move, do you think, at Atlanta?
I think that the top 12 that are in there because you got Mark Martin and Clint Boyer. I think they're 100 points difference. Not saying it can't be done because Casey Kane did it a couple years ago.
Right.
He came back with, I think, 101 points. So it can be done in 2 races, but more than likely not. Mark, I don't think is going to make it.
So is Tony Stewart among those 12?
Yes, he is.
Good.
Yes,
is Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Yes, he is.
So he's in there too?
Yes.
So they're both going to be in the chase?
Yes.
Smoke has driven pretty well in Atlanta.
The last 2 years, he's done really well with his team, and he's won, I think, twice in Atlanta.
So
he knows how to get around there. I mean,
that's my pick this week.
Is it?
That's
I'm
my
going to go
pick.
actually with Carl Edwards.
Really?
The Roush guys have been picking it up here the last 3-4 weeks. I don't know if it's because their owner was in a plane crash and they thought, well, we better do something to make him happy.
Yeah.
But and Carl Edwards has won there 2, 3, 4 times, something like that. So I'm going with Carl.
Should be a good race.
So that probably means he won't win.
All right, man. Well, we'll be watching it for Mike Allen and Buddy
I might
Pearson.
be there.
You might, but you'll definitely be at the KISS concert for sure. And we'll be right here next week in the Sports Zone. Buddy Pearson saying, God bless him straight. We'll see you next week right here in the Sports Zone.
It's David Benjamin's High Tech Direct TV Sports Zone.